Hello, this is Abhiraj Bhal. I am the founder of Urban Company, formerly known as Urban Clap.
And hello, this is Karthik Malhotra, the host for this podcast and webcast. Abhiraj, many thanks for joining us. You're working from home, as one can clearly see, and so is the rest of the country. But in times like these, essential services are something that people cannot live without. The pandemic has hit us. COVID 19 is the only story all over the world right now. And your company, some of the services that you offer have now been given the essential services go ahead by the government. How much fear do you see in your customers and your service providers at a time like this with the COVID 19 situation?
I think you've sort of rightly mentioned that we offer a gamut of services at home. Um, Everything from a massage, a beauty treatment, all the way to a plumber, electrician, carpenter. Now, not all of these services are essential, but few of them are. Our view is that at some point of time, consumers will want these services. I mean, there's only that long that you can go on without a haircut. You can
That's right.
delay it, but you can't delay it inevitably and say, you know what, I'm never going to get a haircut ever again.
Well,
Some
that
people
option
are
does
doing
exist
that,
for a few people.
but that option,
Like
in fact,
myself.
you know in fact, my co-founder just went, when Paul, he took a trimmer and just shaved off his head. He said, I'm not going to wait. Um, but on a more serious note, many of these services can be delayed, but not, at some point of time, life has to move on, right? So I think it's imperative for us also as a company to sort of reimagine these services at home and say, how do we offer much more safer environment? So a few things we're doing is we are ramping up personal protective gear for all service partners. So this will include not just masks, but also gloves, also eyewear, sanitizers, etc., etc. Once the lockdowns get lifted and our services resume, we're going to start with temperature checks every morning for every service partner. Hopefully, on the app, you will come to know, what was the last time this professional's temperature was taken, and what was that temperature. We're also, starting an entire program around testing and doctor treatments for anybody who even has the mildest of symptoms, and asking them to self quarantine for 14 days. This is amongst our service partners.
Right, Abhiraj. But is there some sort of a resistance that you have faced from the service providers themselves, from the service professionals? Is there some apprehension in them taking the tools and stepping outside of the comfort of their own homes? Everybody understands that, yes, a salary and a job is critical. But right now, from a pure health scare perspective, are they open to go out and offer these services?
So the first thing we told our service partners is that, at this point of time, your health is the most important, and therefore, if you don't want to work, you needn't work. You can take as long a break from the platform as you want, and whenever you're ready to work, whenever you feel that the time is right, you can resume. That's not going to hamper your performance or your rating on the platform. We also started giving out to them, 0% interest-free loans with a delayed moratorium period, to say, look, to ensure that you have money in your pockets for this time. Here's a interest-free loan that you can just take from us, and then there's no interest on this, and you have to pay this much later when normalcy comes back. We put up a fund in conjunction with an NGO called Srinidhi Foundation to start helping the ones who might be most impacted, and also ensure that the entire base of service partners has a COVID 19 specific health insurance and income protection plan in the rare event that they fall in.
Sure.
So, this programs that we've put in place, I think, has gone down very well with the service partner base. They have the confidence of saying, okay, we'll resume work when we want to. We're not at the mercy of the company telling us. It's our decision, and the company has taken all of these steps to ensure that we are safe and we are protected.
So, Abhiraj, that's great to hear that on a human side of the business, you're really coming out with great innovations and great practices, if I may. But do you think, from a business standpoint, does a company that depends a lot on the gig economy workers stand to benefit at a time like this as compared to those who have people on their payrolls?
Um, for sure, companies which have a larger fixed cost base, have to think about how they manage those fixed costs during the downtime. I think our company's model is predominantly asset light, so we don't have any fixed costs. It's not like we have a retail presence, for example. Also, our relationship with our service partners is not one of them being employees. So it's not like we have to pay a fixed salary. They work on a commission basis with us as independent contractors, and then are free to work anywhere else as well.
That's right.
And they get to keep 80% of whatever the consumer pays, and we keep a 20% commission. So
Right.
that does mean that our upside is capped during regular operations. When a full scale, fixed cost kind of employee model will typically make sure that the employee only gets 20, 25, 30,000 at most, and pocket the rest. In our case, you see lots of plumbers, lots of carpenters, lots of beauticians make 40, 50, 60, 70,000. There's no upper limit.
Right.
And so our upside is capped, but it also ensures that the model is one where in situations like these, our downside is also capped. Our models will operate in a more egalitarian fashion to distribute jobs amongst everybody. So if you were earning, let's say, in peak 50, 60, 70,000 rupees through the Urban Company platform, the models will now likely work in a way that nobody gets to make more than 20, but everybody can hit that bare minimal 15 or 20,000 to sustain themselves.
Right.
And so I think that's the focus of the company right now.
And how does your P&L look from your own standpoint right now? Could we expect possibly some salary cuts or job losses in your sector and your company as well?
In the case of our company, we have categorically announced to all our team members that there will be no job losses whatsoever, and everybody's job will be protected. In fact, every year during the annual appraisal, you would typically have 3 to 5% performers who haven't performed very well being counseled to move on because they haven't done well. This year, we're not even doing that. As a confidence building measure, we're telling the company that nobody in this difficult period will be let go of.
Oh, that's wonderful.
So no job cuts and no decrease in salaries either. Everybody will get the full salary for as long as needed.
And that's just the positivity that we need at a time like this. Abhiraj Behel, many thanks for joining us on this cast.